Good afternoon. What's going on? Real E-Leezy, what's happening? We in the building, baby. Ticket TV. Ticket TV, what's happening with you, man? I see you stay going in, huh? Motherfuckers is J-Cats, bro. I wouldn't, if I was you, don't even respond to the energy, cuz motherfuckers just want to, they gonna ride a motherfucking cabbie sacks until they get, a little bit of notoriety. That's all it is. Like Kwame say, they algorithm thoughts, man. You feel me? But keep cooking these niggas, man. You feel me? Let me hop right on into this NBA season. This NBA season, it's been a lot of Q&A. It's been like a lot of uncertainty. Like, nobody expected Milwaukee to be injury riddled. You know what I'm saying? And come out the gate slow. They've been losing to some I'm not gonna say garbage, but they haven't been performing like a championship team. I don't know if it's the championship hangover, but Giannis say that he want to win more championships. He seemed determined and motivated. He's putting up the numbers, but they're not getting the results that they want. At least not right now. They've been riddled with injuries. Drew Holiday's been out. Still Brooke Lopez, he's been out. You know what I'm saying? Bobby Portis was out to start the season. Dante DiVincenzo is out. They're still adding in a couple of new players. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to develop the young ones. So I don't know what's going on with them though, but it'll be interesting to see. I know they'll come around. They'll be a top 5 team by the time it's all said and done. Normally, when you go back-to-back seasons, a lot of the times that second year out of that championship, they tend not to be the best team in the NBA. They just, figuring things out. I don't know why it's like that. And they always come on strong at the end, though. You know what I'm saying? They make that deep playoff run. So, the Bucks would be all right. You know what I'm saying? So, but I know Chris Middleton did play in the Olympics, so that was a lot of basketball. And I think Giannis played, too, for his country. Greece or whatever, so. That's a lot of basketball, you know what I'm saying, they've been playing. So I think they're just pacing themselves right now, trying to get them legs under them, nice little rhythm and the chemistry back to make another run at it. So I think they'll be fine. But, early on, you know what I'm saying, they're struggling, you know what I'm saying? Like, at least beat the teams that you're supposed to beat. A young Spurs, rebuilding Spurs team, you're supposed to beat them, you know what I'm saying? So, no excuse on that note. And then Minnesota, they're pretty good. I like Minnesota. Minnesota's going to be flirting around the play-in game, in my opinion. They might end up maybe 10th or 11th, but last year they was at the bottom, so they're making strides. I like the way that they're going. They have good veteran leadership over there. You know what I'm saying, with Cat and D. Russ. So we're going to see what's going on with that. You know what I'm saying? These Lakers, though, in Brooklyn, man, they looking a little sluggish. Mind you, Carmelo is doing his thing. See, and I said Carmelo will thrive if you give him the ball in the block on a post-up, because nobody can guard him. He's too big. You know what I'm saying? He's too talented, and he can go get you a bucket. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to thrive. Carmelo is going to thrive. It's just about them building chemistry. I still think that they're going to be flirting around the playing game, but I could be wrong because they have one of the most favorable schedules in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who makes the schedules, and I don't know how that works. I know that they are an older team, so I don't know if that was by design from the NBA to give them an easy strength schedule. But still, you still got to go out and win the games that you play. You know what I'm saying? Anything can happen. You can be riddled with injuries. You know what I'm saying? Just like they are. A lot of injuries, but I think they're starting to come into they're starting to get a little bit more comfortable with playing with each other. You know what I'm saying? Russ is starting to, they're backing up, letting Russ kind of play his game, which is like freelance, like a free-for-all, like just attack and just be the Russ everybody knows him to be, and the Russ that he's been for all these years, you know what I'm saying, in the league. he's still not a spot-up shooter, but if you got Melo out there with Russ, then he doesn't have to take on that role of spot-up shooter. You know what I'm saying? And then LeBron, I don't think LeBron is best playing off the ball. I think LeBron is most effective when he has the ball in his hand and he's facilitating. These last couple games has been Russ. His numbers been going up, and LeBron's numbers have been kind of like, you know what I'm saying, teetering a little bit. So I think LeBron is better suited with the rock in his hand, but it's hard because you only have one basketball. Anthony Davis needs the rock. Russell Westbrook needs a rock. Carmelo needs a rock. You know what I'm saying? And then you still got, you know what I'm saying, your role players that need touches too. So it's hard to try to tell like somebody like LeBron to take a back seat, because we know LeBron is still like consider himself the man. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's his league pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if he's gonna want to like play that role, but if it comes to him playing that role for the team to have success, you would think that LeBron is an unselfish enough player to where he'll be able to slide into that role. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you would think. Not a given, but you would think. You know what I'm saying? Because image is everything. Reputation is everything. You know what I'm saying? And it was like that, like with Melo. Like, ego played a role when he wasn't like playing, and they said, nah, man, you're a role player, and you coming off the bench. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was fighting that for a long time. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, but he really had to, you know, put everything in perspective and say, okay, I'm a role player, but they trying to change my game up. And I think that that's what Houston and OKC went wrong. They were trying to change his game up instead of letting Melo be Melo coming off the bench. It's like pretty much you have a starter coming off the bench. Like, it was a lot of give and take there, you know what I'm saying? I still feel that Melo can score 25 to 30 a game if he was a focal point of any offense. That's just my opinion. Obviously, he's up in age. He's not as athletic as he used to be. You know what I'm saying? But Melo is still Melo. Melo can still go out there and get you a bucket. I don't think anybody on the planet can stop Melo. You know what I'm saying? And they have three of the toughest people to guard when it comes to LeBron and Russ in transition and in the post, and then you add Melo to that frame in the post and off the ISO, because Melo handle and his, you know what I'm saying, hesitation and his jump shot, he can get his shot off at any given time versus anybody. You know what I'm saying? But the Lakers are struggling right now because they're still trying to find out what team that they want to be. You know what I'm saying? Are they a shut you down, lock you down team? Are they a half-court team? Are they a transition team? You know what I'm saying? It just depends. Like, you know what I'm saying? Are they a three-point shooting team or a defensive specialist? You know what I'm saying? Are they a pass the ball, you know what I'm saying, and average about, 25 to 30 assists a game type of team, running a system? I don't know. I think they're just going off of athletic ability and their playmaking skills rather than running certain sets. I think it's just this person, you get the ball, you beat your man, you pass it to the next man, and that man penetrate, pass it to the next man. They just out there playing basketball. There's no system in place. Frank Vogel never had a system in place. He was always a defensive-minded coach. So that's what you're seeing when you have a bunch of playmakers like Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony on your team. So that's what you're getting. You know what I'm saying? So I still think the Lakers are going to be right where they were last year, just based off of health and can they sustain their level of play. It's easy when you're going up against the likes of OKC, San Antonio, Houston, you know what I'm saying? Certain teams like that, because you know that they're rebuilding and they're not really playing for anything. They're not trying to win any championships. So they're just going to go off of, you know what I'm saying, just playing, just trying to get a feel and get their footing in the NBA for the young guys on those respective teams. So I think the Lakers would be cool. It's just going to be against the playoff teams and the teams that's really playing for something. I think is where they're going to really struggle. Like, you know what I'm saying? But, I mean, that's just my opinion, and we'll see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Warriors pretty solid. You know what I'm saying? The Warriors are solid, but the Warriors are their own, you know what I'm saying, worst enemy. Like, you know what I'm saying? The Warriors can easily go out there and win 50 to 60 games, but then they can easily be like win less than 50 games doing that bullshit, shooting themselves in the foot, pressing, wanting it so much to where, like, you know what I'm saying, motherfuckers is out here doing extra shit, too many passes, like, you know what I'm saying, trying to look good, showboating, you know, trying to get style points instead of just playing hard, executing, you know what I'm saying. If you pass it, you penetrate and pass it to a motherfucker for a wide open shot, then take that shot. But they pass it one shot, wide open shot, then they pass it to another motherfucker, wide open shut, then they pass it to another motherfucker for a wide open shot. It's like a wide open shot is a motherfucking wide open shot. It's like they always say, using terminology, you pass up a good shot to get a great shot. You know what I'm saying? But open shot in the NBA for these pros, open shot is like target practice. It's just like you in practice shooting. When you got the drill and the motherfucker run out at you and you putting it up. I understand you can pump fake, draw that next defender, then kick, then you get a wide open shot. And sometimes I think they overpass. And then I think they try to create passing lanes that's just not there. And they telegraph their passes too much. And they be so focused on trying to run the offense instead of just playing basketball, trying to force passes in there. Don't worry about Steve Kerr. That's my advice to the Warriors. Don't worry about Steve Kerr getting mad because you're not running the offense. Because all the offense is a motion offense. Body movement, ball movement. So if you're penetrating and you got a good look at a floater or a little mid-range pull-up jumper, then take that by all means. But if you can draw a guy, you know what I'm saying, and you see another guy sagging off a great shooter, then you kick. You know what I'm saying? And then you let that guy decide if he wants to take that open shot, or if there's a hard closeout, a hard pump fake, and then the next drive, and then the other guy has to step up, and then now that's when you have the defense, you know what I'm saying, on his heels, and and they don't know what to do. They're scrambling to try to guard an open body. But they just sometimes they press too much and they play too fast instead of playing, you know what I'm saying, fast and under control. It's a difference between playing fast and out of control and playing fast and under control. And I think the Warriors get themselves in a lot of trouble doing that sometimes. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like if all of them just would take the shots that the defense gives them, you know what I'm saying, when it's there, and just live with the result. It's a make or miss league. You're either going to make it or you're going to miss it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the success, you know what I'm saying, for the Warriors this year is going to be all on the hands of, people might not agree with me when I say this, but I've been saying it for a long time. A lot of the Warriors' success, in my opinion, is all predicated on Draymond Green. When Draymond Green scores 12 plus points, the Warriors have a crazy record. Probably got I'm talking about dating back to when he first came into the league and started getting, you know what I'm saying, valuable minutes. They have a crazy record. They're almost unbeatable. I mean, they have losses, but their win percentage when he scores 12 or more points is crazy. And that's just telling me that he's being aggressive. If Draymond is being aggressive, it's hard to beat the Warriors because Draymond is capable of scoring 15 to 20 points, in my opinion. He's that smart of a player. His jump shot is not bad. It's a confidence thing with him. You know what I'm saying? He can get to the rack and get layups and floaters. Those are easy shots, push shots that you work on all day. You know what I'm saying? He has big enough hands to where he can just float that thing up, put a soft touch on the rim. You know what I'm saying? He can post up, post people up. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's an undersized power forward, he can still post up because he's strong. You get what I'm saying? And he's smart. So him playing out of the post is going to put pressure on the defense, and it's going to create open passing lanes because now you have to worry about Draymond being a scorer. You know what I'm saying? And we know what he can do with his passing, and his basketball IQ is off the charts. He just knows where people's going to end up, where the open lanes is, where you can get a shot. He knows where all his players are going to be once the play starts to develop and he starts to see things clear. So the success of the Warriors is going to fall on Draymond Green's back. And that's not putting a lot of pressure on Draymond Green because I've seen him do it. Same player who scored 30 plus in Game 7, hit 6 threes, 5 to 6 threes with a triple-double in the biggest game of the NBA Finals. So I know that Draymond can do and get the productivity. It's all on if the Warriors are going to allow and give him the keys and just to open up everything. You know what I'm saying? Allow Draymond Green to be aggressive. If you're trying to win, you have to allow Draymond Green to be aggressive from an offensive standpoint. And that does not necessarily meaning from an offensive standpoint for him to score, but for him to just make the plays and give him free range on allowing him to try to score. Not to make him a scorer, but put a little bit more pressure on the defense by allowing him to take certain shots in the offense when they are there, when they present themselves, when the defense backs up off of him, daring him to shoot. They do it to Ben Simmons, they do it to Rondo, they do it to a lot of players in the league. You know what I'm saying? And that's very disrespectful. So what did Rondo do? He worked on his jumper. He hit some of the most crucial shots in that bubble to help the Lakers win that fake-ass championship. But Rajon Rondo improved and said, you know what, I'm going to shoot these shots. They're going to have to honor me. And then when they did honor his jumper, what did he do? He took the ball to the cup. He took it to the cup. Come on now. It's basketball one-on-one. It's just basketball IQ. So the Warriors, they're going to be okay. I think they're going to be okay, especially when they get their players back. They have to try to incorporate James Wiseman. He haven't had no training camp in the last 2 years. He's coming back from a meniscus tear, rehabbing that. So that's going to be real interesting. You know what I'm saying? We're going to see what's going to happen with that. Then you're bringing in the rookies, you know what I'm saying, Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga. I like those two rookies. Very promising, you know what I'm saying? They're very promising, a lot of talent, high basketball IQs. You just got to try to incorporate them in, you know what I'm saying? So, Warriors should be good. Warriors should be good. I don't know what's up with Boston, though. I think it's learning a new system. Players trying to get adjusted, you know what I'm saying, playing with each other in a new system. You know what you're going to get from, Al Horford, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, because they're veterans, you know what I'm saying? They've been there. They understand the game. Marcus Smart understands the game. You know what I'm saying? But it's just incorporating the young guys and getting everybody on the same page. And then identifying what type of team do they want to be. Are they going to be a run and gun team? Are they going to come down and run offense? Ime Udoka needs to really put people in place and identify what type of basketball that they want to play. What kind of team are you going to be? That's the challenge for the Boston Celtics, because they're more than capable, you know what I'm saying, of going to the Eastern Conference Finals. They have the talent. I love Grant Williams out of Tennessee. Peyton Pritchard out of Oregon, love him. Romeo Langford, love him. Like, they have a lot of pieces over there, you know what I'm saying? Aaron Naismith, love him. Good shooter. You know what I'm saying? Robert Williams, I love what he brings out of Texas. Or no, he was Texas A&M, I think. But that guy, man, they have to sort of gel, man. I don't know what's going on with him. And then Dennis Schroeder, they have to allow Dennis Schroeder to be Dennis Schroeder. He's pretty much like a quarterback. He's a good one-on-one player. He's a good defender. You know what I'm saying? He's not the best outside shooter, but he can knock those shots down if you give it to him. You know what I'm saying? He's a creator. You know what I'm saying? So you have to let Dennis Schroeder be Dennis Schroeder and stop trying to change certain players' game and fit them into a box. Dennis Schroeder is good at creating and attacking downhill. He's the Rondo out of France. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. That's all he was. That's what he patterned in his game after, and he showed. So, but I think he's a better shooter than Rondo, to be honest, yes. Rondo has a better forward game, though. Yes, Rondo definitely has a better vision. You know what I'm saying? And leadership skills. So that's the one thing that separates Rondo and Dennis Schroeder. And we go over to the Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets are really struggling to find like a rhythm, I want to say. Because I believe that they have more than enough talent. I don't think they need Kyrie to win, even though Kyrie gives them undoubtedly, you know what I'm saying, a high chance at winning. But they can still win. They still have two former MVPs of the NBA been to multiple NBA final appearances, final MVPs for Kevin Durant, and then James Harden been to a finals with Kevin Durant in OKC in a lockout season. So I could just point to age because LaMarcus Aldridge and Blake Griffin are like former shells of themselves. They're not the same players that they used to be. They're not going to go out and put up astronomical numbers. They're not going to go out and put up double-doubles. So they're going to have to do it by committee. So we know what we're going to get from James Harden and Kevin Durant. It's just like the supporting cast is going to really have to step up. They're going to need to find that third scorer. I think they should start playing Cameron Thomas out of LSU, in my opinion. I think he's capable of being like a Kyrie type of player. He has that one-on-one ability. We've seen it in the preseason. But he doesn't get any run in the regular season. I don't know why that is. It's not going to do him any good by sitting and watching. He needs experience. I don't know what he's doing in practice to earn minutes on the floor. But I think that he's a capable NBA player in today's NBA. Because today's NBA is about going to get a bucket, scoring, ISO. Cameron Thomas, that's something that he does well. So I think that Brooklyn needs to kind of sort of start playing him. Because you're playing Bruce Brown, he's going to give you defense, effort, and hustle. But he's not going to give you the scoring ability that you're lacking right now in the absence of Kyrie Irving. So I think that you're going to need to play him a little bit more. And then, James Harden, he's struggling right now just trying to figure out his game. He's trying to adjust his game to the new rules. It's been difficult for him because he's used to drawing fouls and going to the free throw line at least like 10 plus times a game. You know what I'm saying? So they're not giving him the calls that he used to get in years past. And I think it's frustrating him a little bit. So James Harden needs to figure out a way where he can either try to play out the post because he's a phenomenal talent and he's strong. And he has a handle and he's quick enough and agile enough to get by his defender and shoot those floaters. You know what I'm saying? So he needs to figure out a way to play like mid-post, you know what I'm saying? And figure out like an in-between game. If James Harden can get an in-between game, they'll be solid. That's going to open up a lot more for their, like a Joe Harris, LaMarcus Aldridge, Blake Griffin, you know what I'm saying? Because these are bigs that like to shoot. So if instead of putting those bigs in the paint to where they're not as athletic as they used to be, but they can knock down a wide open jump shot, now you switch and put Kevin Durant and James Harden down on the block where they should be automatic, where they should be able to kill their opponent down in that area. We know when we give Kevin Durant, nobody can stop him. 7'1" with a 7'8" wingspan. I mean, jumper crazy from the mid-range and a three. Kevin Durant can eat all day out of that post. See, that's a lost art. If we're going to go old school game, we bring it back old school rules, right? Physicality, no foul calls, keep playing. If we're going to bring back old school rules, we need to start bringing back old school game to match the old school rules. You know what I'm saying? We're going to play out of the post. Jordan did it. Kobe did it. You know what I'm saying? We seen McGrady do it. Charles Barkley at 6'6" did it. Dominating on the block. Hakeem, Shaq. If we're going to bring back old school rules, punish your defender down there on that block. That's barbecue chicken all day. Straight up. So, I don't know. Brooklyn needs to figure out what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? Do they want to be a run and gun team? I don't think they have the personnel to be really a run and gun team because they have older veterans that might not be able to get up and down the floor. I think Brooklyn is really constructed the same way that the Lakers are constructed. And I think at the end of the season, I think that it's going to show, depending on their strength of schedule. If they have easy schedules, then yes, Brooklyn is going to, you know what I'm saying? Especially if they get Kyrie back. If he ever comes back, you know what I'm saying, due to the protocols or whatever they have in place, which I think is boo-boo, but whatever. It is what it is. I think the Lakers and Brooklyn might finish, like, you know what I'm saying, within like 5 games of each other. Win-loss. Wins and losses. I think they're probably going to be around like the same. They're going to be the same. It's like who's going to be a better team. Like, you know, they're going to be battling all season for that because every other team that got better in the East. The Knicks are way better. The Knicks are better. Let's just call it what it is. They gonna be there, okay? The Wizards are better. They have championship experience over there. That's what you want to call it from the bubble. The teams win and won a championship in the bubble. You know what I'm saying? That fake championship they won. Excuse me, you know me. I'm old school. I gotta call all the lockout season, all that fake championship. So, you feel me? Don't judge me. It is what it is. Washington is better. Montrezl Harrell is averaging a double-double off the bench. And now with Gafford, I think he got injured, so he's going to be out a while. So now, you plug in, you know, somebody's averaging a double-double, getting like bench minutes, now you give him starter minutes, so now he's going to be even more productive because he has a high motor. You know what I'm saying? Montrezl Harrell has been a 6-man in the league in the NBA, and he's been highly productive at what he does. Energy, defense, rebounds. That's what he does. Run the floor. That's what he does. Effort. That's what he does. Maximum effort all day. Kuz. I always loved Kuz. You know what I'm saying? I thought Kuz was really coming into his own that last season when Kobe was there. Kobe really taught him some things, man. You know what I'm saying? And then his growth as a player was stunted when LeBron James came to the Lakers. In my opinion, that's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck what all LeBron fans say. That don't matter to me. You know what I'm saying? I spit nothing but the real shit. So you're gonna have to take it, criticize, say what you want, but that's what it is. You feel me? So yeah, with that, the Kuzma, he's producing. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have the greatest preseason, but he's a veteran, man. He's been in the league. He's seen it. Kuzma is producing. He's especially, you know what I'm saying, on defense and rebounds. Kuzma is really giving them solid D and rebounding that ball, man. You know what I'm saying? His shot will come around. He just got to pick his spots. You know what I'm saying? I think Kuzma can post up too. He should play more in the post too, man. I think he's long enough to where he can get those little floaters, you know what I'm saying, and the little jump hooks that he used to use. He used to have that little jump hook in his repertoire when he played early on, like his rookie season and second year in the league. He had a little jump shot. So I think, you know what I'm saying, and then KCP, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, he's adding, you know what I'm saying, defense, stretching the floor, outside shooting. Then they have, you know what I'm saying, Davis Bertans. So, I mean, they gonna be there, man. And then they got the rookie, you know what I'm saying, Adjaba from last year. Solid. You know what I'm saying? And then I like Aaron Holiday. He's still trying to find his, you know, his niche in the league. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he can be like his brother. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Defense, floor general, you know what I'm saying? And knock down open shots and create for his teammates. So maybe he can be that. So that's, and then we know what we're going to get from Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal is a perennial all-star, man. You know what I'm saying? He's a superstar, if you really want to call it that. You wouldn't be talking about trying to trade for him and give him a super max if he wasn't. He's been proven. He's proven it time and time again. So he's trying to, you know what I'm saying? And I commend him for staying with the organization that gave him an opportunity. He could easily sign with anybody. You know what I'm saying? He said, no, I'm going to choose. I'm going to stick it out with Washington. I'm going to build a contender in Washington. You know what I'm saying? And all kudos to that man. He deserves a lot of credit, you know what I'm saying, for what he's doing over there in Washington. So then we move on, you know what I'm saying, to the Bulls. I don't want to jinx my Bulls, man. We can say that they back, you feel me? Because the way they got it going, they got a lot of talent over there, veterans. Zach LaVine, you know what I'm saying? Nicholas Vucevic. They got motherfucking Lonzo Ball, DeMar DeRozan. You know DeMar DeRozan's been to the Eastern Conference Finals countless of times in Toronto. Just never could get over that hump because of LeBron James and the Cavaliers in the NBA. But that's another story for another time. But they gonna be there. Billy Donovan has been a successful coach in the NBA for a while now. So you know what I'm saying? We gotta call it what it is. You know what I'm saying? I think that they really gonna do their thing, man, for real. So that's big. Chicago gonna be there. They got a pretty nice squad. Excuse me. They got a pretty nice squad, man. Sorry, y'all, I'm pulling up to the crib in the garage, you feel me? I'm gonna put these damn garbage bins on. But they gonna be there, though. You feel me? So Chicago, nice squad, man. We just chopping them up, on them down, man. And then Charlotte, young team, young and up and coming. Charlotte Hornets is gonna be there. Them Charlotte Hornets, they got a nice squad. Mikal Bridges has really stepped his game up. He's trying to become an all-star this year, for real. We knew he was talented. We knew he was athletic. He showed us that at Michigan State, but he's stepping his game up to a whole nother level. And then they added Kelly Oubre, which I thought Warriors should have never got rid of Kelly. Man, they out there balling. Because now you got an interchangeable. See, you got Kelly Oubre. If Gordon Hayward decided to get injured or not play, they have depth now at that position. You can plug Oubre in and they ain't going to lose a beat. You know what I'm saying? Gordon Hayward makes them better, obviously, but they're not going to really lose anything if he was to go out, because you still have players that's capable of scoring 20 plus. And we've been seeing that. And then LaMelo Ball, he ain't scared of nothing. You know what I'm saying? I love his confidence. He's just out there he just making shit happen on both ends of the floor. And he ain't backing down from no challenge. And I love that. That's old school basketball right there, straight up. If we changing it back, if we taking this shit back to old school hoop, you gonna see the teams who's supposed to be where they supposed to be and the teams who ain't. Straight up. Straight up. They gonna be there. They are gonna be there. And they ain't even got Scary Terry back. Terry Rozier's been injured this year to start the year off. He's going to find his niche. He's going to get healthy, and he's going to play himself into a rhythm. And they're going to start, you know what I'm saying, doing their thing. So I think, is it Jim Borrego? I think they're going to be solid, man. They're going to be pretty solid, man. The East is tough, man. The East looked like the West looked about like 4 or 5 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was good. There was a lot of parity over there. There's a lot of parity in the East. I really can't point to an easy matchup. Even though Indiana's starting off slow, they still have a good roster. They have some young guys, you know what I'm saying? I love the rookie Chris Duarte, and, you know, and Brissett over there. They got some players, man, and then you still got to wait until, you know, Jeremy Lamb is playing his way back into shape after, you know what I'm saying, tearing his ACL, and then you still got TJ McConnell, who's a solid backup point guard coming off the bench. You have a new system. You know what I'm saying? Rick Carlisle is bringing a whole new system and a new dynamic. So it's going to take a minute for him to put his, you know, I guess to put his niche on and his influence on the team. You know what I'm saying? But you still have a high IQ superstar and Domantas Sabonis. He can get you 20, 12, and 2015 and 5 every game. You know what I'm saying? You can't beat that. Then Miles Turner, you know what? He's going to give you defensive rebounding and stretch the floor, can hit some threes. You know what I'm saying? Block some shots. Get out in transition, run the floor. You know what I'm saying? If he can become a low post presence, then that'll even be better for them. Because now you can go high-low with, you know, Domantas Sabonis and then Miles Turner. But that's yet to be seen. We'll see how that works out. And then you got Malcolm Brogdon. You know what I'm saying? Malcolm Brogdon is proven rookie of the year. I don't know why Milwaukee decided to let him go, but it all worked out for him. You know what I'm saying? So But Malcolm Brogdon, he can get it done for you. Solid point. Give you 25 a game. So that's solid. And play solid D on the other end. So that's good for them. They getting off to a slow start, but I think that they'll play their way into a nice rhythm. You know what I'm saying? Once they start, figuring out roles and sort of kind of like aligning with what the system dictates over there. Because Rick Carlisle is going to play a certain style of basketball from an offensive standpoint. And and TJ Warren, he ain't even came back. I don't know if he's done for the year this year, or I don't know what his status is on his injury that he sustained. But you got to throw him back in. He's a 25 a game scorer. So I think Indiana will be there. They probably going to be like around flirting between 6 and 8 when it's all said and done. Then we got, who we got? Toronto. You know what I'm saying? Just removed, 2 years removed from an NBA championship. Mind you that they lost a lot of pieces from that championship, a lot of veteran leadership. They're young. You know what I'm saying? They have a lot of good players, good coaching. I don't know if they'll be in a play-in game, though, but they're still missing, Pascal Siakam. So once Siakam comes back, I think that'll make them better. But I think they'll still struggle on a defensive end because they have a lot of young guys, you know what I'm saying? So, and one of their bright spots is the rookie. You know what I'm saying? Their rookie is going to work. You know what I'm saying? So, that's huge for them. The rookie out of Florida State. Can't think of his name, man. Fuck. I forgot his name. Can't think of the rookie name. But he's one of the top rookies right now, in my opinion. And then that's that right there. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we ain't even got to Atlanta. Atlanta gonna be there. Atlanta gonna be there, man. They're going to have to probably make some changes, though. They might need to trade a piece. They're probably going to need to get rid of Cam Reddish, or they're going to have to choose over Cam Reddish and Danilo Gallinari. See, Cam Reddish can give you a little bit more athleticism. He can stretch the floor. You know what I'm saying? He can go one-on-one. Danilo Gallinari is an older veteran. You know exactly what you're going to get out of him. He's not necessarily going to be the defender that Nate McMillan wants. But Nate McMillan, he sacrifices his defense for good offense, which Danilo Gallinari provides. But the question with Danilo Gallinari has always been, is he durable enough? Can he sustain a full season? Can he stay healthy when they really need him to be? You know what I'm saying? He did good last year, and that's why you've seen the results that you've seen. But can you really bank on him staying healthy? You know what I'm saying? So they're going to have to choose over Danilo Gallinari, who makes a lot of money. And as an older player, or do they want to keep Cam Reddish? You know what I'm saying? They're going to have to decide that. So, but Atlanta, they will be there. Trae Young needs to adjust his game to the refs. He's crying a lot. He keeps crying to the refs. Trae Young is too good of a player to let the refs dictate how he plays his basketball. Trae Young, you're better than that. He can go get a bucket at any time he wants to. He got different array of shots. He's hella fast. He got a handle. He got range. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to really try to bait the referees into making a call, because obviously they're not making those calls that you've been getting. You have to adjust your game to the refs. If they do not call the foul, it's okay. You can still cook. You have an array of shots. You're quick enough, you know what I'm saying, to have good footwork to where you can create space to get your shots off. You can go to the lane, you know what I'm saying, penetrate, break your man down, and shoot the floaters that you like to shoot. You get what I'm saying? So, I'm just going to say that, for them. And then Philly is a question mark, man. It's too much going on in Philly. It's just too much. That off-the-court stuff, and with Brooklyn, it's just the off-the-court stuff and the uncertainties of certain players coming back and what are they going to do and all this, and they don't want to play for them, and, we're going to trade them for this person and that person. That's hard to sustain a level of concentration and focus when your end goal is to win a championship. You get what I'm saying? They're not like the Chicago Bulls when it was contract situations and players unhappy within the organization, and they still kept it together and won a championship. Same thing that happened with the Warriors and Kevin Durant. Even though they didn't win that season, they still had a little bit jealousy and shit going on. You know what I'm saying? Within an organization and a lot of this and a lot of that, and they still managed to win a title out of that. You know what I'm saying? That back to back, that second year. That's the year I'm talking about. Right. But Philly, I don't know, like, because their best player is Joel Embiid, hands down. But can you really win with a big man being the best player on the floor and all the other players role players? I mean, we can look at Tobias Harris and say that he's a star, but in my opinion, he's just not that guy that you can go to when you really need a bucket. Like, he doesn't have a handle to where he can break his man down. He has a lot of size, and he's smart. You know what I'm saying? He can get his shot off, but he's not a Chris Middleton type of player. Chris Middleton has a handle and hesitations and pull-ups where he can get his shot off at any given time and play defense. See, Chris Middleton can guard too, what you need to understand. I don't know what type of player Tobias Harris wants to be. He can score 20, yes. But if Tobias Harris and the Philadelphia 76ers really want to be an elite team, I think Tobias Harris has to take his status. He has to elevate his game. He has to be that guy like, okay, no Ben Simmons, fuck it. We don't need Ben Simmons. What the fuck we need Ben Simmons for? I'm going to go out there and give you 40. So I'm going to score the 20 that I used to score, and then the little 20 that Ben Simmons should be scoring, I'm going to give you that too. So that make up for that right there. And then I'm going to lock the guy up on the other end. I'm going to be that guy, a two-way player. He's about 6'8", you know what I'm saying? So he should be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? They should be able to play Tobias Harris and Joel Embiid off of that block. If they can get them on that block and let them barbecue chicken all day, then they can beat some, because now they got Danny Green, defensive two-way player, knock-it-down shooter, defensive player. Then you got Seth Curry, knock-down shooter, and he's better on defense now. You know what I'm saying? Veteran in the league. He done seen and been in some games. So he's comfortable with where he is as a player in the NBA, and he's steady progressing. So shout out to, Seth Curry, excuse me. You know what I'm saying? I remember when I worked at the Oscar Club, and they were out when he, obviously he used to play for the Warriors G League team, and he was out here. He always used to come and gamble at the Oscar Club. And just play little cards, you know what I'm saying? Most players do, you know what I'm saying? So, shout out to Seth, bro. I see you doing your thing, man. And then, you got Frank playing Cork Miles. Then you still got, Tyrese Maxey. And then you got Matisse Thybulle, who's a good wing defender. And then you got Andre Drummond. You plug Andre Drummond, that's a double-double machine. And he's going to give you defense. He's going to run the floor, give you rebound and everything. So you're plugging him in for Dwight Howard. I think that he can be a high-octane energy guy for them. You know what I'm saying? And you can play him and what's the name sometimes at the same time. Twin Towers, you know what I'm saying? Let him go to work, because Joel Embiid can stretch the floor and shoot too. Then you can do a high-low. You can plug, what's the name, at the top of the key, where he can face you up, triple threat you, and stare down you and just knock the jumper in your face. Or he can distribute the ball into Andre Drummond, and he can do his thing back to the basket, and he can score out of the post. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on how they want to play. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily think that they need Ben Simmons, even though Ben Simmons is obviously going to add value to any club that he goes to, because his high IQ for the game, you know what I'm saying? His ability to, attack and transition and pass the ball like crazy and then defend at a high level. But it's all on if Ben Simmons is engaged. Does he really want it that bad? Does he really want to be that guy? You get what I'm saying? Does winning really matter to him? Does being the best player in the world really matter to him? See, that separates everybody, just that mindset. Do you really want to be the best player in the world? Or are you just going based off of athletic ability? Because if you really want it, you know what I'm saying, it'll show. Like, it's no reason why you're sitting out. You don't want to play for Philly, okay, I understand that. But I'm saying you fucking up your whole image and everything by sitting out, cuz. Like, you know what I'm saying? Get your ass on that court, get that money flowing, and show them why I'm valuable. And then they'll, you know what I'm saying, let it be known by your play, okay, trade me. You feel me? Let's get something for him. You know what I'm saying? But as it is right now, both of y'all in a no-win situation. You're not playing. You're not making no money. And Philadelphia obviously they're not a championship team, you know what I'm saying, allegedly, without Ben Simmons. So they say. So they need to figure that out if they want to trade for some draft picks or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And that's that. I mean, if you're going to trade him to the Warriors, I don't want the motherfucker on the Warriors on one of my squads. You know what I'm saying? Because just his attitude and his approach towards the game, you can't cheat the game. You can't disrespect the game like that, man. You have to get out there and give it everything you got and try to become the best player in the world. Every player should strive to be the best at whatever their skill set is. Try to perfect that and be the best at what you do. You know what I'm saying? And work at all in the areas that you're deficient in. That's what you have off-season workouts, practice to get better. You know what I'm saying? It's not about kicking it in the streets and going out clubbing. That's why I respect Kobe so much, man. You know what I'm saying? Kobe said, y'all can do all that going out and shit, all that shit. I'm going to leave a legacy. I'm going to be the motherfucking best player in the world. And this is how I'm going to do it. So you want the blueprint on how to become, you know what I'm saying, one of the greatest? Then follow my footsteps. And he showed everybody how to do it. You know what I'm saying? So you can't knock him on that. Now all the, you know, the back and forth and, you know what I'm saying, talking to the media and saying certain things. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't do that shit like that old whole cake ass shit. You don't have to act like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, the media is there to, you know, get a story and blow it out of proportion, obviously. That's how they make their money. So, you feel me? Sometimes you gotta, saying nothing is saying a lot. So, always keep that in mind for all you athletes out there, you know what I'm saying, aspiring athletes. Saying nothing is saying a lot. Remember that. And then, who am I missing? Am I missing somebody? I think I'm missing somebody. Oh, we're going to shift it back to the Western Conference. Utah, they're going to be there. They're going to be there. Veteran team. They know what it takes to get it done. They just got to, when it counts the most, they got to really play that and elevate their game in the playoffs. Like, it's hard for them to get to that next level. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if the NBA is going to allow Utah, a small market team, to become winners and the face of the NBA. Normally it doesn't work like that. It worked like that with San Antonio because it is Texas. It's the smaller market in Texas, San Antonio. So it worked because they had Hall of Fame players and a hell of a Hall of Fame coach and assistants along the way who's moved on to, you know, to get NBA head coaching jobs. So it worked over there. They're doing the same thing with Milwaukee, which is another small market town. So it's just certain towns. Like, you have to look at the history of the game. Has Utah Jazz ever won a championship? Like, you know what I'm saying? You have to look at the history of the NBA. See, it's always the teams that already won that's going to win again. Like, you know what I'm saying? And the only reason Cleveland won is because they had LeBron James. It was always about just getting that one. You get what I'm saying? So now, you know what I'm saying, Cleveland is starting to set themselves back up to be a playoff caliber team. They have a lot of young talent. I believe that they have a good coach, you know what I'm saying, a Bickerstaff. Junior, is it Bickerstaff Junior? I think it is. And maybe, who knows, maybe in a couple years when LeBron James' contract is up, he'll return to Cleveland and bring another ring back to him, along with his son. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? That has yet to be seen. In my opinion, I think that they're doing that and building to get back up for him to come back to Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? Only because, you know, the NBA a reality show. You know how they like to, you know, have all these different storylines. So I think that might happen for that. But I think Utah, I don't know if they're going to be able to get it done. Donovan Mitchell might need to go to another squad, like a bigger market maybe, but who knows? You know what I'm saying? So I know that they're going to be there, but they need to elevate their game. They all need to elevate their game in the playoffs. That's where it counts. And Mike Conley needs to stay healthy. Come on, Mike. What's that, man? You're fragile up out here, bro. You got to stay healthy out here. I know shit happens, but still, work on your body, get in the weight room, yoga, eat right, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, hopefully you can, you know, sustain a healthy career for the rest of your career, you know what I'm saying? So, and then Denver, man, they got to get healthy. And they got to start playing ball, man. He's fucking like 8 feet tall, who can do a lot of different things on the court. Shit, he'll figure out and play like to his strengths, and he's gonna have growing pains, yeah, but he needs to develop that experience because Bo can be very, very valuable. Very valuable. You know what I'm saying? That's real talk. And then they gotta get Jamal Murray back, man. Shout out to Jamal Murray, man. Hopefully he can come back healthy. You know what I'm saying? And rehab his knee and get in shape. You have to get in shape, man. Because once you get these injuries, it's like you really can't do any type of basketball activities. You can't do any conditioning. You just have to do light stuff, like, you know what I'm saying, here and there. So, but the most important part is taking care of your body, eating right, because we know the foods break down the body like crazy. So these players, y'all got to start eating right, man, and taking care of your bodies. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? And then you know, get after it and start getting to work. You know what I'm saying? So Denver, I think they'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they have enough to win because they just don't have that elite forward or guard that can go out there and just put the team on his back. They're relying mostly on Jokic. Michael Porter, he got signed to that big contract, and I think the pressure is just killing him right now. You know what I'm saying? So, but he'll find his niche. He just got to find what's comfortable for him and be the greatest at, you know what I'm saying, in that comfortable position. You know what I'm saying? Because he doesn't really have a handle to create a shot, but he can pretty much give you like a triple threat or give you back to the basket. And he has a very, very good jump shot. So, off of the catch and shoot and off of the triple threat. So, but he just needs to work on his playmaking ability, because that's another part of his game where he's just going to have to be a better playmaker. So, improve his handle. That's important. So, you know, Denver going to be there. I don't know if they have enough to win a championship, but that's what that is. We know San Antonio is rebuilding. You know what I'm saying? Touched on Minnesota. A lot of young talent over there doing their thing. Memphis, they going to be there. They got hungry cats on that team. You know what I'm saying? Jaren Jackson, he done came back. Is it Jaren Jackson Jr.? I could be messing his name up. Goodness gracious, why am I so bad with names? But that man Jackson Jr., he's came back. He's shooting way more efficient from the three-point line this year, because I don't think he's just strictly relying on three-point shots. See, the last couple of years that he's been in the league, I think that he was pretty much relying on the three ball. Now he's mixing his game up. He's taking you down on that block, which we seen him do when he was at Michigan State, and get you a bucket, because he's unstoppable with his size, you know what I'm saying, his athletic ability. You know what I'm saying? And then he can get to the free throw line, knock his free throw down at a high clip. So that's really helping them. And they're doing pretty well without one of their best players, you know what I'm saying, and perimeter defenders play the game this year. Dylan Brooks has been on the shelf. So hopefully Dylan Brooks can get, you know, back healthy and, you know what I'm saying, just can add to something great. But all their other second, third year players have stepped up. DeAnthony Melton stepped up. You know what I'm saying? He's playing great basketball. Shit, Desmond Bain out of TCU going crazy. You feel me? He stepped his game up. You know what I'm saying? They got Steven Adams, which was a good trade. Veteran. You know what you're going to get on him every given night. You know what I'm saying? Defense, rebounding. You feel me? Smart player. And then you got, Kyle Anderson. You feel me? The sloth of the NBA. Not in terms of looks, but, sloths move real slow. And that boy, Kyle Anderson, moves super slow. But he still is effective. So, shout out to Kyle Anderson. He does his thing. Another UCLA product. So, UCLA puts him in the league. And then superstar, Ja. You back up off Ja. Ja gonna light your ass up on that three-pointer. And I remember when he was at motherfucking Murray State, Ja Morant would shoot threes. That wasn't the strength of his game. He was more of an attacker and
get downhill and explode and get to the rack, get to the basket. But I seen him at motherfucking Murray State pull up and hit threes. See, it's all about really confidence. He don't have a bad stroke. He don't have a bad form, so I don't understand why he just didn't have that confidence to shoot him. You gotta have that confidence, man. They gonna leave you open. You like, motherfucker, you out your mind. The way he stared down Draymond Green from like 30 feet, you know what I'm saying, last week when they played the Warriors, when they came back from a 19-point deficit, the man hit a dagger three from deep. Like clutch. It was like less than 2 minutes to go in the game, and he just stared Draymond down, and Draymond was baiting him into taking that shot. And he took that motherfucker with confidence and nailed it. That's the type of motherfucker that he got to be all season. Strict confidence. I'm shooting this three. Now, that doesn't mean live by the three, because only certain players we know shoot a high volume of threes, and that's not really Ja Morant's game. But don't be afraid to let that motherfucker go and keep them honest. So now they got to press up on you. Once they press up on you, boop, scoop, fly by, unstoppable. Crazy athleticism, can go dunk on you from the free throw line or kick, you know what I'm saying, to the teammates, you know what I'm saying, it makes them lethal. And then they're adding, you know, Xavier Williams in out of Stanford. You're adding a rookie in. You know what I'm saying? I like the way he's playing early on. He ain't putting up massive numbers, but he's out there playing with confidence like he belong in the league. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Memphis gonna be there. Memphis is gonna be there for real, for real. Portland. Phillips. I don't know, man. That boy Chauncey he came into a cold situation over there, man. He's in a cold situation, man. I don't know, excuse me, if he's gonna have the type of success that he was anticipating coming into a team where he got two of the best perimeter guards in the league. But it's a lot of other pieces that they added that he's trying to figure out what role that they should play and how they're going to impact the squad. See, I thought losing Carmelo was big. I thought Carmelo would have they probably would have been like a top team right now in the standings, even though it's too early on to really put anybody in first, second, third, or fourth. But I think they would have gotten off to a better start if they had Carmelo. That's a for sure 20 points a game that they're missing. 20 points a game that they're missing, period. You don't know where you're getting that 20 points at. Period. What's the name never really been a scorer. You know what I'm saying? Covington, he never been a scorer. Robert Covington, never been a scorer. He's a knockdown three-pointer and defensive specialist, but he's not a scorer. You get what I'm saying? Then you got Norman Powell. He's in and out of the lineup with injuries or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's no consistency there. Then you got McCollum. He's been the best player on that team thus far. Thus far. Then you got rid of Zach Collins. Zach Collins ain't played one game for San Antonio. So, you know, I don't know. You got Larry Nance Jr. and you got Cody Zeller over there trying to, you know what I'm saying, do what he do. It's just, I don't really know what to think of them. Like, they really don't have no. Then you got Nurkic. Yeah. If I was them, I would let Nurkic just give it to Nurkic on the block and let him beast mode. Kind of like a Jokic. That's what Nurkic was for Denver before Jokic sort of developed into, you know what I'm saying, Nurkic 4.0. They were kind of like the same player to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? That could have been a two-headed monster nasty in Denver, but they chose to make, you know, we're going to go with Jokic and trade what's the name. So they decided to do that, but I think that Nurkic got to play more on the block. He got a little soft touch around the basket. He can shoot the little baby floaters and the jump shots, and he's big enough to where he can back people down, like, you know what I'm saying, get to his spots. So I think they need to feature him out and let him play inside out, and then let the creators create on the perimeter, you know what I'm saying? Anthony Simons coming off the bench, he elevated his game. He's playing real well coming off that bench. Still got Nasir Little. I don't know what he's going to do, though, Nasir Little. He's trying to do a little bit more than what he did last year, but I don't think they really have enough, man. They need some more pieces. I think they should have never got rid of, to be honest, Marquise Chris. I love Marquise Chris. He needs to get a job. Somebody needs to sign Marquise Chris straight up. The Warriors, if you're out there, Marquise Chris is an option. go re-sign him. I don't know if you can re-sign him right now because the way you traded him, I think you got to wait a whole year. But Marquise Chris should have a job in the league. You know what I'm saying? Slasher, defender, rebounder. Come on, man. Come on, man. More mature. He's not the same Marquise Chris he was when he first came into the league with Phoenix. So let the man play, man. Somebody sign that man if you want to be better. It's all about improving and getting better. Dame Dollar, my guy. I don't know what's going on with Dame. Dame seems not really motivated or interested right now. I don't know why that is, but he seems like he's not engaged in what Portland's trying to do. Like, he was 2 for 14 from the 3 the other night. I was like, what the fuck? He was like 5 for 20 some in the game. I say, what is wrong with Dame? He has not been shooting well, and he has not been scoring at a high clip. He's still been a facilitator and distributing, but the reason why Portland is losing a lot of games is because of Dame Dollar. Quiet as kept. I'm going to just keep it 100. That's my guy, man. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, man, Dame Dollar gotta step his game up, man. Step your game up. Hopefully they don't trade you, bro. You done built something special in Portland. You know what I'm saying? I believe that you can bring a championship to that city. But y'all probably going to need a couple more pieces, though. So I think they need to put a couple more pieces. But y'all going to have to buy into what Chauncey Billups is trying to do. Chauncey is a winner, man. Finals MVP. You feel me? He won. Chauncey is a winner. He know what it takes. You know what I'm saying? He knows what it takes. So it's going to be really interesting to see how Portland progresses in the season and how they mature as a team and how they gel. So that's important. But I think they're missing a player or two. Maybe a 4-man or somebody that can, a wing that can go get a bucket. Like, you know what I'm saying? They probably need somebody that can go get a bucket. I think Andrew Wiggins can help them. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that the Warriors need to trade Andrew Wiggins, even though they might need to trade Andrew Wiggins. I mean, they should. I got a ton of small forwards for the Warriors, so I don't know. But somebody like that, you know what I'm saying, who can play defense and go get a bucket when you need to get a bucket. And that's that, man. You know what I'm saying? And then we can, who else we can get on? Who else can we get on? I didn't touch on all the teams. Oh, Dallas, J-Kidd, Dallas, the Mavericks. I think the Mavericks going to be fine. They got a lot of veterans. They got a lot of veterans over there. And then J-Kidd, you already know, straight from the Bay, man. He's St. Joseph, so straight then went straight to Cal. Ben Erkley. I think that J-Kidd is comfortable in Dallas. He won a championship in Dallas as a player. You know what I'm saying? I think that Luka Doncic, he's going to help Luka Doncic kind of like figure out how to be a more controlled and better Luka Doncic. I don't know how that happens because he's already plays at a certain pace to where you can't really speed him up. But just to make the right decision and don't think that he has to put the team on his back every night, that he has to utilize his teammates. Because J-Kidd love, you know what I'm saying, getting his teammates going. They re-signed, you know, Tim Hardaway Jr. Shout out to Tim Hardaway Jr. Tim Hardaway Jr. is a 20-plus point per game. Tim Hardaway Jr. needs to just take more of an initiative to play defense, to be a two-way player. See, Tim Hardaway, if you can go get 20 on the other end, you should be able to stop your man from at least getting 15 or 10. You got to be a two-way player, man. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to need that from him. You know what I'm saying? So they still got Dorian Finney-Smith, who's their defender and can knock down an open three. But, I mean, that's pretty much it. He's inconsistent. He's really not just a knockdown shooter, but he will shoot it. Then other pieces that they got on their team, and I think the Dallas need to really think about playing Trey Burke or trading Trey Burke and try to get something for him. You know what I'm saying? Because Trey Burke you're not utilizing Trey Burke, and Trey Burke can go get you 15 a game. In my opinion, I think he's that good, but they don't use him, so I don't understand what's going on. I love Jalen Brunson though. Jalen Brunson does his thing. That man, you know, he a veteran, straight out of Villanova. He stayed all 4 years, veteran. He doesn't understand and know how to play the game. Off the hook. But I don't know what you're going to get with Maxi Kleber. He's not really a rim protector. So, I don't know what's going to go on with that. He's a knockdown shooter. Yes, he is. He does have size, but I just don't know what they're trying to do. It's crazy at the center position for them. It is crazy. I know that they signed from or they traded for Moses Brown, but he's been in and out of lineup, injury prone. And then they got the other guy. Well, what's the big name with the tattoos? I forgot his name. Forgot his name. Went to Kentucky, got drafted by Sacramento. Then the Warriors picked him up and had him last year briefly before they traded him. What's the name? Yeah. So just that. I don't know. They're probably gonna need a little bit of size. I know they got Boban. You know what I'm saying? Marjanovic. You know what I'm saying? One of the fan favorite players in the league. I like Boban. But Boban not one of those players that you can really just rely on, you know what I'm saying? So, they probably going to need to shake it up and make some moves over there, you know what I'm saying? So, Willie Cauley-Stein, that's what I was thinking about, Willie Cauley-Stein. They're going to have to figure out if they want to play him or not and try to figure that part out, but, yeah. And that's that, man, you know what I'm saying? So, it's going to be interesting, though, man, but motherfuckers going to have to start picking it up, man. The teams that's expected, like championship favorite teams, Lakers, Brooklyn, Milwaukee, who's starting off slow right now, they got to pick that shit up, man. Real talk. Real talk. Oh, I didn't touch on the Heatles. Back to the Eastern Conference, the Heatles. I didn't touch on them Heatles, man. Jimmy Buckets, one of my favorite players in the league. Jimmy got them boys rolling, and then if Kyle Lowry can stay healthy, you know what I'm saying? They got a shot. I love the way their team is constructed. Bam Adebayo, they got good coaching, good ownership. You know what I'm saying? And then it's South Beach. And then they just went to a fake-ass NBA championship in a bubble. You feel me? In which there was the best team. Tyler Hero out here averaging 20. Duncan Robinson, spot-up three-point shooter. Got to get better on defense and playmaking, but I think that'll come with time. You know what I'm saying? And Jimmy Buckets, he normally get the best out of his player, out of his teammates. He's a great leader. And Kyle Lowry is a great leader. So they gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? I love what, you know what I'm saying, the Heat is doing, man. The Heat is gonna be there in the end. Shout out to the Heat, man. Shout out to Jimmy Buckets, man. Get buckets, Jimmy. Can't stop you, bruh. I done watch your career grow from Marquette, baby. Do your thing, man. Shit, and that's that, man. You know what I'm saying? A little breakdown of certain teams and shit. Oh, Sacramento. I gotta touch on Sac. They not the Bay Area, though, man, but it's the Macramento, though. You feel me? Shout out to Sacramento, man. You feel me? Luke Walton, they got them boys balling down there. As long as De'Aaron Fox stay healthy, they're gonna need to make a decision, though, with they have good players. They have Metu on the bench, and then they have one of my Dookies, Marvin Bagley, the motherfucking third. They need to do something with him. They might could get value if they trade him to the Warriors. They can get some value. They might need to move him, man, because if that dude is a walking double-double, if he stay healthy, that's a big if. But shit, I think if he's in the right system, he'll be able to stay healthy. You know what I'm saying? Period, point blank. He's a walking double-double. I think he'll add a lot of value. And other than that, they could probably ship him to Philly. If you want to do that, trade Marvin Bagley III and package him up with Metu and maybe another guard, and you know what I'm saying, maybe a Halliburton or a Davion Mitchell, because they're going to have to figure out which one you want to be. Like, they got Halliburton and Davion Mitchell. They got and Fox. You got 3-point guards. So if I was Sac, I would package one of them up. You know what I'm saying? They both good players, you know what I'm saying? And package them up with Metu and motherfucking Marvin Bagley III and trade him to Philly and go get Ben Simmons. That's a win-win for both franchises, in my opinion. That's why I'm a guru at this shit, boy. They don't be listening, though. But that's what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't made no videos. I just wanted to come on here. I've been sitting back peeping the scene. You know what I'm saying? Melo. I think I just seen a report. The Lakers gonna shake their lineup up and start starting Melo. I'm gonna say, you know, that's a Hall of Famer. You ain't gonna start Melo, bro. We didn't bring him to the La La Land, bro, for him to sit the bench, bro. Shit, Melo, that's hello Melo. Melo been going crazy the last 3 games, or the last 2 games, 20 plus. You know what I'm saying? And the game before that, against Memphis, he had 28, and then he had a lackluster performance. You know what I'm saying? Then he came back and scored 20 plus back to back. You gotta let Melo do Melo. Let Melo be Melo, man. Stop fucking with my guy like that, man. Melo is my guy. Shout out to Hello Melo one time, man. He doing his thing. 18 years in the league, still doing it. Top 10 all-time scorer of all time, can easily be in the top 5. Easily. Another story for another day, though. But shout out to Melo, man. Keep doing your thing. So, that just means that the Lakers are going to have to shore up their bench. You know what I'm saying? Period. They're going to have to figure out. They're going to have a little bench mob. At least their bench or role players going to come off the bench are going to have to be the lockdown defenders to buy time for the starters to get rest. So when they come back, or you can keep Russell Westbrook on the floor. I'm pretty sure Russell Westbrook wouldn't mind playing all those minutes. He's a high octane energy guy. So I'm pretty sure when you take Melo and LeBron off and Anthony Davis off, then, you know, you can let, you know, Russell Westbrook run that second unit and get guys open and create it. Then he can find his offense and be the Russ that everybody knows. So we'll see how that plays out over there, man. But yeah, Ticket TV, what's happening, man? Shout out to you, bro. You feel me? Shout out to Kwame Brown, Carcino. You know, everybody doing their thing on this thing, man. You feel me? Spread love and positivity towards, you know, black media. You know what I'm saying? Real black media, not motherfucking clout chasing, algorithm thoughts, as Kwame call them. You feel me? Just be supportive, man. Love your people. It's okay to debate. It's okay to you don't have to agree with everything a motherfucker say, because we're all different. You feel me? We ain't no motherfucking robots and shit out here. We might disagree with something, but it's okay. You know what I'm saying? You don't let those disagreements turn into all-out wars. You feel me? Just a difference of opinion. We all got them. So, you know what I'm saying? Everybody keep doing their thing. Love, live life, man. You know what I'm saying? Love everybody. You feel me? Laugh, cry, smile. You know, my usual. You know, some real shit coming from a real one. You know, the real E-Leezy. You know what it is.